Hello, everybody. It's great to be back, Taiwan. I know that everybody, or many of you, has seen this kindergarten, and everybody are expecting me to talk about this greatest kindergarten in the world. But you can see this on TED.com. Many of us have seen. So today, I brought something completely different. Very quiet, no? This is about tsunami. You forgot that the big tsunami came to Taiwan, 1771. More than 8,000 lives were lost on Japan side, but no history on Taiwan. That's the reason why I brought this. Year 2011, Japan became a different country. 18,000 lives were lost. But there is a very strange fact about this disaster. There was 40 minutes to leave the town to escape from tsunami. But many didn't leave the place. Why? There's a lady in duty to announce everybody to leave the town to escape from tsunami. And she was holding the microphone to the last moment, and she was drowned to death. But still, there are many people didn't leave the town. And there were many tsunami stones, a kind of monument, telling people that you should never live below this point, lower ground. But in 2011, many were living on the lower ground. They were killed. Why? Because people forget. People didn't believe they were in danger. And there used to be a kindergarten run by a temple. Fortunately, no child was killed because this Buddhism monk took them to the high ground. And there used to be a promenade with huge trees. And these trees were planted 1611, exactly 400 years ago. That was the time Galileo was about to find out the planet Earth is turning around the sun. It's a long time ago enough to make people forget the history of tsunami. And at the end of the promenade, there's a stairs leading you to a temple. Can you see a man in blue? It's not me, but this is always tsunami stops. Temple has never suffered tsunami because it's not high ground. And beyond the gate, there was a refugee camp. And many went to the temple because the monk used to tell people, if big shake comes, you have to come to this temple. That is only one way your life will be saved. And he saved so many lives. And tsunami came 2011. you should know that the tsunami is not just a wave. The water stayed half of the day. You can't swim. You can't swim in half day. So many people get drowned. And the water, seawater, salted the soil. And the soil sucked the water out from these big trees. And all these trees are dead. And that time, Japanese government announced they are going to use these trees to make electricity. Because, as you know, Japanese government lost nuclear power plants. They want electricity. But it was wrong decision. Because these were the trees planted by the villagers long time before this Japanese government. And many knew that it was wrong to take these away from the local. But there's nobody to complain because locals were still trying to find out the families under the wreckage. Then UNICEF came. You know UNICEF? To help children. Huh? And they said they want to rebuild a kindergarten for them because there was only one kindergarten. And the lady on the middle of the picture is UNICEF. And they said they want me to rebuild a temporary structure. But I said it's wrong. The donation should be used for future. Temporary structure is almost as expensive as permanent. So I said, why don't we use these trees? And we chopped these trees. Very tall tree. And these trees are old. Older trees is harder and stronger because older tree grows very slowly, more fiber in it. But always there are defections. Woodpecker's nest. We made the columns out of these difficult trees. Very heavy columns. It's about 1,670 kilograms, 1.7 tons. This is wet like a watermelon, 60 by 60 centimeter. And you can find like this only in the temple, over 1,000 years old, Japan. And it takes years to dry. But sometimes we didn't have time because villager needed a kindergarten as soon as possible. They needed someplace to leave the children to revitalize the town. So I got the wisdom from the past, the old joinery. There used to be a technique to build castles or temples with timbers still wet, and nothing was wasted, right? Just tree is wider at the bottom, thinner top, so we get handrails, narrow wood floor plate to the top. We got wider from the bottom. And we remove the column, we remove the core of the column, center of the column, because we wanted the column to dry from inside and outside. That was the only way to stop the cracking. And then we use the wedge the old style joinery is better for this purpose because we are building this for long term. And 20 shrinks, and the structure can be adjusted with wedge. Of course, we had to do some test too to make sure it is strong enough. It's modern time. And then this is celebration of the last beam coming up to the top. And this is a celebration. And if you see this cloud from another side, you'll find all of them are crying. Because these villagers know the revival of the town has begun. None of them has house. And it was the time, no carpenters were left. There's a shortage of a carpenter. But many came to this temple before they built their own house. Because they knew that these timbers are from the promenade. And the promenade was pride of the town. They wanted to work on it. So the building was built very quickly. That was one of the first buildings built after tsunami. And this building became the symbol of the town. Children are back. They are acting like a children. Now again, they are running along. They are happy children again. And they use space under the eave. Very traditional type. It's very different from my usual design. And you can see children are hanging their legs. And they love something they were not supposed to do. They're standing on the wrong side of the handrail. They're happy. And they go to the wrong place to go. This secret base. Sometimes it's quite hard to find them. But the priest, the Buddhist monk is also with them. A happy-looking child. Now, people didn't remember what was going on. But people could escape from tsunami. You know that tsunami reached 40 meters from sea level. There is no way to stop tsunami with the barrier. But people can escape from tsunami. And in history, temples were taking very important role because temples were always high ground. And then people knew where to go because that was a part of their life, normal life. Temple was not just moment. Now, this column is not just a material. People know that this is from the promenade, which used to be their pride. And this column is going to tell a story to the children in the future, 400 years from now. When big shake comes, you have to come to me. Then your life will be saved. Thank you very much.